Hello beauty therapists, and welcome back for another video. In today's video or episode, I'm not sure what I want to go call it then, but in today's video we are going to be talking all about the tips that, well, essentially the tips that I wish I knew when I was in beauty school, because I would have loved to know all these tips. It's good to go into something feeling super prepared, and that's what this video is all about, is to give you all the tips if you're currently studying your beauty diploma or some sort of beauty qualification, or perhaps you're even thinking about it and you're not sure what you should be doing in preparation. So before we get into the video, I just want to say hello. If you didn't know me already, my name is Kathleen. I am a beauty therapist. I'm a business owner, and I also like to call myself a beauty therapist mentor, and that is because, yes, in my spare time I love to do videos like this, run the group Beauty Therapists of Australia, and I essentially create educational content and resources for the professional beauty industry, mainly for beauty therapists, business owners, and anyone else wanting to find out about the industry. So please feel welcome to follow me on all of the places and also ask questions during this video if you are a beauty therapist in training and you're wanting to really get into my brain, because I've got so much to share with you. But without further ado, let's just jump into it. And I really want to make this feel like you're here with me having a conversation, because that is what it's all about. So my tips, my goodness, I have so many of them, and I really had to condense this video to make it actionable, but I really wanted to make it powerful as well. And I feel if you were to follow all the tips that I give you today, you could have an amazing start to your career in the beauty industry. My goodness, I wish I had these pieces of advice. So I have my notes so I don't forget. But essentially, I think this is probably the most important thing out of all, and I kind of reflect back on my experience at beauty college. I went to TAFE SA, and I really wish I did this more. I actually feel like I did a really good job, but I could have done this better, and that was to actually really get to know my lecturers and other students in my class. So I feel like I had a pretty good relationship with one of my lecturers, and I got to know a few of the others. But I really wish, if I was to turn back time, I really would have spent so much time nitpicking their brains, because essentially for them to become a lecturer, they would have had to do their diploma, have all this industry experience, and really find out what their niche is in the industry, and then they became an educator. So they've seen time and time again this exact same scenario of someone being new to going into the industry. So really, like, get to know them, befriend them if you can, and really ask them all the questions you possibly can, because not only are you going to learn so much from them in terms of what they did in their career, what worked, what didn't, their mistakes, their achievements, and their unique perspectives. You are also going to, if you really make a good impression, that is going to be one of your key networking opportunities to finding yourself a job in the industry. Now, trust me when I say this, it is so true. It is who you know in the industry, and particularly in the beauty industry, where we're also connected, but then we're also not at the same time. So we really get to know everyone, leave a good impression, and really get to know your lecturers. I promise you, you won't regret that decision. And as well, get to know your students as well, so your fellow students. I mean, it's a little bit cliche, but really go into it thinking that you can make friends, because essentially you're the same kind of breed of human, right? You all kind of want to make someone feel beautiful, special, loved, and cared for. That is the essence of a beauty therapist. You really, I know you're there, and I know you agree. You want to make people feel beautiful, and why not connect with other people who think the same way? Again, networking opportunities. You can start to build your contacts list, and I'm going to get into that one a little bit later as well, and I'm going to elaborate. But essentially, those students that you were first going to school with, they could be the reason why you get a job in the future. They could be a great opportunity, or they could just be a great companion. So please try and make the best impressions on everybody around you, and I promise you, you'll have a really, really fun and successful time in the beauty industry. My second tip, it's like I'm trying to do these in order of importance and I had to put this one right up the top, and it is because notoriously most beauty therapists don't do this. I didn't do it and I had to learn the hard way, and that is practice your people and sales skills. I'm not joking. We can practice our skills, our therapist skills, what we do with our hands, and we can study everything we need and write it all down. But if you're not practicing your people skills, how you talk, how you ask questions, how you listen, how you engage, how you sit when you're with another client, and how to even be a beauty therapist in a setting, you are going to have a really hard time in the industry, or at least things will just be a little bit clunky when you start. And what I mean by this is really, okay, let's think about presence. When you walk into a beauty salon, how do you present yourself? You don't know that yet because you've not been a beauty therapist. But if you watch closely to all your lecturers and you listen to their descriptions, you'll find that when you're in a workplace as a beauty therapist, you kind of have to conduct yourself in a certain way. Start practicing that. Start practicing how to do your hair, how to do your makeup, how to keep good hygiene, and most importantly, the speaking skills, because it really is so important, particularly the sales skills. Now, I think we all kind of crawl into our seats and go, oh, sales, oh, I don't need to do sales. I'm not selling. And we have this misconception about this whole topic. And the thing is, sales doesn't need to be a dirty word at all. And I want you to look at it like this. Your whole life is selling. I'm not even joking. When you go meet a guy or a girl or someone you like, you literally have to sell yourself. Of course, we can play hard to get, but that is essentially selling yourself in just a different way. You're packaging your goods in a certain way. You're portraying yourself. Selling is everywhere. You sell yourself to your future employee, to everything you do. It is a sale, right? It's the art of negotiation and the art of, oh gosh, just speaking in an influential way. So you really need to know this as a beauty therapist, and there's a couple of reasons why. Well, essentially, there are three main objectives as a beauty therapist for your clients, and that is to, first of all, give them an amazing, memorable, enjoyable, and results-driven treatment that makes them feel wonderful and is safe, and all of those factors. The second is that you want to rebook them. You want them to come back and see you again. And the third is you want to let them take home some sort of retail product. And I kind of started on that one because I thought to myself, oh no, not everyone needs to take home a retail product. That's true. That's true. We don't need to sell to everyone because it's not about selling, but to keep a beauty business running, there are specific targets that you need to really do need to meet, because at the end of the day, your services are, yes, that's your bread and butter. What is the beauty industry without our services and our treatments? But the thing is, what really takes a business from small profit margins to larger profit margins is retail sales. And as much as we'd like to not have to think about this as the new beauty therapist, you're going to be expected to meet these criteria of giving an amazing job, which you are absolutely going to learn for sure, but you're also going to have to rebook, and you're also going to have to make sales and retail sales. And those two do require people skills and really engaging, asking thoughtful questions, and learning how to speak with influence. You can't just be like, do an amazing treatment and then at the end go, okay, all right, just go to the reception desk, and then expect the front counter to rebook them and sell them products. It just doesn't work like that. You actually need to find ways to say, hey, I'd like to see you in 2 weeks time for da-da-da, and this is what we're going to do, and this will achieve this. Now, it sounds really simple when I put it this way, but I literally have this conversation every single day and I've been doing it for many years, so it comes naturally. But I promise you, those words out of your mouth when you were first starting and you're really unsure of what you're doing, they're difficult. They really, really are. So start practicing while you're at beauty college. I promise you, if you can learn how to read book in nice, simple terms that make sense, that are creating a treatment plan, and also retailing, so product sales, when you learn those two skills, I promise you, getting into the industry, it won't feel like this big scary thing, and you won't develop blocks about all of this, because there shouldn't be any blocks. It's literally just how business runs, and really, really, really important. I hope you take that one on board. If anything, take that one on board, because it really is the fundamentals of the industry. It's how we do our jobs and how we get our results. It's nothing icky. The next one, go all in. Do it. Go to beauty college and literally go all in. You don't know what you're going to love. Maybe you are super, super set and you really, really want to be a skin therapist because you really, really love it and you are just obsessed with skin. You're one of the lucky ones, because essentially not everybody is super, super certain on what they want to do. I can tell you a little story, it's quite funny, but I literally went into my beauty diploma thinking I was going to specialize in makeup. I just roll my eyes when I hear that out of my mouth because it's just ridiculous. I did not like makeup. I really didn't enjoy learning about it. And for some reason, I thought I wanted to do that as a job. You get to know what you really, really love by playing and experimenting and asking questions and really getting in the feel of things, going all in. And I'm so lucky I had an open mind. That's how I decided I wanted to be a beauty therapist, through doing a makeup course. I was doing the pedicure, so just to rewind, in TAFE, to do your makeup, you have to do pedicures and manicures, and that's what we started with. So I was doing this nice leg massage for this pedicure, and I just was like, whoa, I love this. I love this so much. And that little spark, I would have never found that spark from essentially not trying out this makeup course in the first place. So that's my whole premise of this. Experiment, try every little facet and see if you love it. And if you don't love it, look, I hated waxing right from the beginning. I gave it a good go. I really tried my hardest. I just never liked it. And what that taught me is I don't like waxing, so I'm not going to focus on that. But I did go all in and I found what I'm passionate about, and it ended up being skin and massage. And it's funny because I didn't actually like the skin side of things when I first started in TAFE as well. So you just never know what time will tell. So yes, go all in, please do it. You never know what you might end up doing. The next one is to practice your skills at home. And this is a no-brainer, and I think this is the one that beauty therapists will definitely want to do, because it is probably the most funnest part. You know, you go to beauty college, you practice the services, you do the theory work, and then you're just so excited. I just want to show my family and friends. And some others don't. I know that sounds crazy, but there are some that really just go to school and kind of hope for the best and hope that what they're learning at beauty school is enough, and it really isn't, I promise. You need to go home and practice these skills, because the way a beauty the beauty diploma that I studied was set up, you do one skill and then you move on to the next. Do one skill, move on to the next. So yes, there was refreshers, and yes, we kind of correlated the skills with different aspects, but you actually start to forget the skills when you're not practicing them over and over again. Yes, I'm trained in nails and makeup and waxing to the bane of my existence, eyebrows and tinting, lashes, all of that, but I don't practice it. So now it's really, really hard for me to go back and go, oh, I might provide those services. So think about when you're first learning. I'm skilled and trained, and I've practiced these skills many, many times in spas and salons. But when you're new, you just haven't practiced, and you will forget things really, really quickly. So get excited, bring your gear home and practice on all your friends and family. It's such a nice thing to do, and honestly, they will be so grateful. There will be a time when your friends and family go, oh, if only your services were free, because it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to start charging for your friends and family. So make it worth their while you're in training. The next one is, again, probably a no-brainer, but it is super important. Ask questions. Just do it. Ask all the questions. Nothing is silly. Nothing is stupid, you know, and ask thoughtful questions. Not just like, oh, how do I do this? Think a little bit more in depth. Think about asking your trainers questions that relate to the industry or this product, or just anything that gets your mind going. Ask it. Just don't ask someone to tell you how to do something that you can figure out yourself or you've been shown, for example. That's probably a stupid question, and it's not stupid per se, it's a little bit of a thoughtful, lacking thoughtfulness essentially. You really want to use your own mind first and then ask the question, but please go in there and ask all the questions that really will spark, they'll generally spark something within you. So absolutely do it. The next ones on my list, I thought these were really, really fun, and really, I wish I did some of these. And the first one on my list is to actually journal. So journal your time in the industry from when you're training to when you become qualified. Keep a dedicated journal and call it my journey to becoming a beauty therapist, or my beauty therapist journey, or whatever you want to call it. And use that journal as a place to really write down your thoughts. Like, it could just be one line. Today I learned waxing and I really didn't like putting my clients through pain. That's something I would have said to myself if I had a journal. I don't like the way it makes me feel when I put someone in pain. You know, a journal is a really good place to put down your thoughts so you can go back and reflect, and you can really start to make sense of the feelings that you're getting when you're doing something. I would have probably wrote things like, I feel so lit up inside when I provide massage therapy. When I do a massage, I feel so whole and so full. You know, write all these things down. Keep a journal, because it'll be an amazing place to reflect, and it'll be a really great learning opportunity. The next on that is to volunteer your time and get work experience as early as possible. And don't just look for one place. Really consider contacting all different types of places. This is very similar to the tip I had before about going all in. Go all in and find out what type of clinic, spa, salon, beauty industry business that you want to even work at. You might not realize that you are someone that doesn't like loud noises, and you really like a quiet atmosphere, and you love being one-on-one with your clients. Or you could be really different. You could find that you love being in big groups and you like having a lot of different clients coming through and a lot of things going on at once. Depending on your personal preferences will really determine where you will go in the industry. So start just contacting beauty businesses. All you need to do is walk in there looking super professional, wear your beauty tunic, go in there with your nice, subtle, clear, showing off your nice skin look, and go speak to the manager and just say, hi, my name is la la la, and I'm a beauty therapist student and I would love to volunteer my time here. I'm happy to do towels, cleaning, anything you would like me to do. I just really want to soak up and absorb the atmosphere that you have created here. This is a beautiful business and I really admire what you're doing. Will you give me a chance? I promise I will do anything that you ask me to. It's that simple. And once you've got your foot in the door, you're going to start seeing things in the industry from a different perspective. You go, that's how they do that. Or, I see this happening in front of me. Or, I don't like this area of the beauty industry, it doesn't feel right, or I love this about the beauty industry. So it'll get your mind and it'll just make you feel, it'll get your mind excited for what you want in the future, and it'll get you kind of prepared for the industry as well. And it'll also be an amazing opportunity to network. And I promise you, I'm coming to that tip in just a moment. Start building your network. This is super, super important. This is the one I said I would bring up before. And it essentially means start getting to know as many people as possible in the beauty industry. I don't know the statistic of how many beauty therapists are in Australia, but as you can see in this group alone, we have 3,700 members. Look, there are so many other beauty therapists out there, beauty businesses, and so on. It is literally endless. And the more people you know and connect with and befriend, the more connected you are in terms of learning opportunities, work and business. All the kind of opportunities come from knowing other people. And this is not about a get-get relationship, not at all. This is about making friends and just creating a contact list. So you can do this in a really, really organized way. You could use a digital calendar, a contacts list. Google Contacts is super simple. You could even just use your phone, but it's nice to designate it or designate a certain spot for these particular contacts. So beauty therapy contacts. So add your TAFE lecturers, add your students that you went to school with, add the business owners that you've met, add anyone, add business directors, so for product companies, add training trainers, add literally everybody that you speak to in the beauty industry. Make a connection, say, hi, my name is, shake their hand, make a good impression, and at the end of your conversation or experience with that person, ask for their number and just say, hey, I'd love to add you to my contact list. What's your number? You know, say it in a bit of a more normal way. I just made that sound really, really strange, but you get my point. Create a contacts list, because later on down the track, you can, you know, network with these people, ask about certain opportunities that are coming up, or they may even contact you. And it's always good to stay in contact as well. So really, really important. I wish I did that right from the beginning, but it kind of leads on to my next point. Join groups like this one here, the Beauty Therapists of Australia group, where you can go in here and make your contacts list and make friends just on a virtual setting, just like this. I don't need to talk to you about the power of social media and making friends. It is, of course, rewarding, but it again fulfills all of those things that I've just mentioned before. Do it. You will not regret it. You will feel so much more connected, and especially when we're in an industry where we are with people every single day, and I'm not even joking when I say this from experience. You're literally with someone all day. You're serving someone. Yet one of the most profound emotions that really stick with not only beauty therapists but business owners as well is a feeling of a loneliness in the industry. I'm not even kidding. And I guess it comes from a lot of things, but essentially you can so easily feel lonely when you are giving all day. You literally go into work and you're like, give, ask questions, and you kind of forget that you're here. And because you're always with one person, generally, you get lonely. You need someone to connect and who understands you. So absolutely make friends, network. It's so powerful. It's not a dirty word. Networking seems to be a dirty word for some people, but it really is not. It's about making friends. The next one on the list is find a mentor, and you're only going to find a mentor through doing all of the above. It's about going out there and connecting. At the end of the day, a mentor doesn't need to be what it kind of sounds like, right? A mentor could be someone on the internet that you have never met before. It could be a business owner that you've never connected with before, or a business perhaps, but you really, really love what they're doing in the industry. You can choose not to connect, but I promise you, if you try and connect with this person, it'll probably benefit you. And when you do want to connect with them, don't just flat out go, hey, would you mentor me? Look, there's certain opportunities when this is okay, and please do definitely contact me if you want to be mentored, because I have my name up on the mentorship board tab in this group, so it kind of goes without saying. You can ask that to me, but don't ask that to someone who isn't advertising themselves as a mentor. You want to really connect with the people that you find as mentors or someone you look up to in a way where you're adding a value, right? You don't want to be going from meeting someone and going, hey, can I get? Not at all. You want to go to them and say, hey, I want to give. You know, give them compliments, genuine compliments, offer them help, offer them anything that you can, and that will be repaid. It is the law of reciprocity, and it'll be so rewarding for you, and you might get lucky and that person might really love you as a person and might want to offer all their wisdom and experience. I promise you, if you find a mentor, it will accelerate you because you get those specific questions answered. And I think this next tip that I'm about to mention is probably been one of the most powerful tips that I actually did myself. I kind of did it by accident. I'm not really sure why I did it, but essentially I started documenting my journey. Wow, I'm so glad I did, because it ended up being so much more than documenting my journey. It became a passion in itself. When I was at TAFE, I needed to have models, and we all know we need models, right? So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start posting the work that I've done, you know, brows, makeup, la. It's like creating a portfolio. So I started a Facebook page and I started uploading on there. I started talking about my experience and what I'd learned and sharing my journey. It's kind of like an online journal. But it's for the world to see, so it doesn't have to be so personal. It's about showcasing your journey from being a beginner beauty therapist to an experienced beauty therapist. And look, you don't need to do what I do and blog on the industry and do everything that I do, not at all. But what you can do is start creating that portfolio, and hey, when you start to apply for jobs, you can send that to your potential employer. There's no rules against this. Literally say, hey, here's my journey on becoming a beauty therapist. If you're interested, here is the link. There's no harm in that. I think that's actually going the extra mile to really stand out on an application form. So that is my top tips for the beginner beauty therapist at beauty college or beauty school. I really hope that you implement these. If you are a beauty therapist who is in training, please connect with me. Tell me what really stood out to you, what you're going to do, what you're kind of not sure about, any questions, whatever. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and best of luck with your journey to becoming a beauty therapist. I'm a little bit biased, but I think it is an amazing industry full of so many incredible opportunities and literally so fulfilling, so fulfilling. So thank you for being here with me, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye for now.